I'd like to go ahead and begin. Welcome, everyone. This is Recovery Dharma. My name is Julia. I'm one of the facilitators in this beautiful, beautiful worldwide community. It is my privilege to lead our practice today. I'd like to begin by setting an intention. And yesterday, a Sangha member reminded me of something that I really love regarding setting intentions. And it's such a mature way to hold in our own minds and hearts what it means to have a good intention. And what the Sangha member said was to remember there's intention and there's impact. And I loved that because even when we have good intentions or what we think are good intentions, if we're in a place of confusion in the mind, or if we've taken intoxicants and our reality is distorted, the impact of what we think is a good intention could actually be detrimental. So, this is an invitation to really pause and think about what is my intention. So with that, I'll pick one. Oh, I am gonna pick this one. I almost put it away and I'm gonna change my mind here. Let me see if we can do this. That one. The intention for this one today is blank. I'm just gonna leave it there. Blank, spacious, wide open. Friends, let's arrive fully to this beautiful practice. And let's take note with an inward gaze. Let's take note of how are you? Ask yourself that. How am I? How's my mind? How's my body today? How's my spirit? And by spirit, I mean, how's your mood? If you could put your emotions into a landscape, what comes to mind? As you settle into your practice, this meditation, present time awareness, being here right now, exactly as you are, inviting your practice to be perfect exactly as it is. Notice if your body is holding on to any tension. Notice where your body feels at ease. And then bring a gentle attention, a gentle awareness to your breathing. Breathing in, breathing out. Notice if your body isn't able to be still, and rather than immediately start telling a story like, what's the matter with me? I can't be still in this meditation. Instead, give your body permission to fidget, permission to get up and move, permission to lie down. If you need to move and you're online, I just encourage you to turn your camera off. There's so much in our lives that is about molding us, making us fit into certain standards. Even meditation, you've got to sit in a certain way, be a certain way. And those things are not always available. And so part of present time awareness is what is available. If my mood isn't particularly peaceful and my thoughts aren't particularly peaceful, then my body isn't going to be particularly peaceful. And if I try to hammer myself into shape, into fitting this image of peace, my hammering isn't particularly peaceful. Whereas creating allowance, creating permission, creating space. Wow, what a peaceful act. So simple. One of the virtues, one of the qualities that we can cultivate. To cultivate is to grow. To cultivate is to nurture. So one of the qualities that we can nurture, that we can tend to and take care of, is patience. And it is a challenging quality because it has a lot of conditions that are constantly testing it and putting us into impatience. So many things in this modern life that test our patience, that challenge that notion. And so it has to be cared for. It has to be nurtured, taken care of. And Shantideva has some wonderful thoughts about it. And I'd like to share a couple of today. There is nothing that is not easy to accomplish if we develop familiarity with it. So first, I should learn to forbear all small sufferings and then gradually endure greater ones. So Shantideva here is saying that patience is easy to accomplish the more we become familiar with it. And one of the best ways to become familiar with patience, ironically, is to notice all the times where we're impatient and notice all the conditions surrounding that. Am I hungry? Am I frustrated? Did I have an argument with someone? Am I not getting what I want when I want it? Which is a source of frustration for me right now in this moment. I am not getting what I want when I want it, namely in the form of a book order, and I'm super pissed off about it. And it's completely out of my control. And I am so impatient about it, and I'm a little rah, 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 rah about it. Look at that. Fascinating. My little toddler self is not getting what I want when I want it. Alrighty. So one of the things that I can do to work with that big impatience is to take care of some smaller things. For me, it's all about slowing down, quieting my environment, being still. Shantideva writes, this can be seen in those who endure minor sufferings, such as small animal or insect bites. feelings of hunger or thirst, or irritations of the skin. I should not become impatient with heat and cold, wind and rain, or sickness, confinement, or beatings, yikes, for if I do, the pain will only increase. And what he's speaking to there are the things that are outside of our control. I'm not really sure what he's talking about regarding beatings. Again, this is an aesthetic way of life that he was living in the 8th century in India. I'm sure there were militant aspects to that. Could have been referring to the way he beats himself up in his mind with the stories he tells himself. I don't know. But start small with these impatient conditions that teach us more patience. And then we slowly work up to the things that are really, really challenging. For the duration of this practice today, friends, what we're going to do as a community is something very, very simple, and yet it is a profound act. And that is, we're going to breathe with intentionality. To breathe with intentionality addresses a nervous system response in the body that is naturally occurring and involuntary. Specifically, something in the nervous system called alarm. When I am impatient, my body goes into an alarm mode. Something is happening that I do not want, and I'm on alert. To counter that reaction, which can cause tension, it can cause distortion, it can cause me to be unwise in my speech, it could cause me to be erratic or unconscious. I stop paying attention. So a way to calm the body and activate another part of the nervous system is to breathe. But to breathe in such a way that we maximize receiving a whole bunch of oxygen into the bloodstream that enables all of the body's organs to work better. So to do that, turn your gaze inward into your body. And you can bring your concentration either to the level of your nose or your mouth, or you can bring your concentration to your belly. And on your inhalation, when you breathe in, notice the air entering through the nostrils or extending the belly. Just watch. And then when you're ready to exhale, see if you can sense the air leaving your nostrils, or see if you can notice your belly contracting. And just observe, breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. I'd like to create a few moments of silence so that you can do this on your own and feel empowered to do this. And if your mind wanders away from the task, smile. Smile that you've noticed your mind wandering away. It's a wonderful thing to be able to gain access to that awareness. And then bring your awareness back to breathing. This is another practice of patience rather than being like, oh, crap, I don't know where my mind went. I got to breathe. That is such an impatient response to this practice. So instead, to practice patience, it's like, whoop, there I went. Off to my laundry list. I'm going to come back and breathe. And we're just going to do this for a couple of moments, really. And then as you gain familiarity, you can expand the practice, increase the time. Over and over and over again, bringing yourself back to breathing in, breathing out. Friends, one of the most extraordinary things about Buddhism is its focus on the inner landscape, our interiority, our emotional interiority. What's happening in the mind? What's happening with our mood? what's happening in the body? What are the stories we're telling ourselves? And there's so much suffering that we churn because of it. And so at the end of the day, with these simple practices and this simple approaches, this is all about tending to suffering. Because when we take care of what causes suffering in our lives, we also take care of what it means to heal. We'll end our practice today with a sweet little chant to the Buddha. And I'm just going to chant it one time, and if you know this one, you can chant with me. It goes like this. Tayatao Muni Muni Maha Muni Soha. Alrighty. Go ahead and make a dedication of merit. And I think I'd like to invite the chime to sing for this, just to call us back. I'd like to invite each of you, if it's comfortable, to take a noble posture. And a noble posture is distinct. It is a way of sitting in your body, in a chair or on your cushion, where your spine is nice and straight and tall, almost to the point that, you're lifted, your whole body's lifted like the trunk of a tree. The belly is soft. The gaze is inward. And just notice where your hands want to be. Don't judge them. However your hands want to rest is perfect for your body. And take a deep breath in and let it all out. Many people who gather in recovery meetings are there because they have to be there. They're checking a box, they're following a court order or a program. And yet, at some point during the journey, coming to recovery meetings becomes an event, a thing that people want to do. And that's certainly something that I try to create here, an environment where people will want to come and practice. And not everybody has access to that. So we dedicate this practice to all people who have not found ways to cultivate skillful actions. Maybe they're in the hospital and they're sick. Maybe they're in jail or prison. Maybe they are still in active addiction. Through the efforts of all of us here today, may we take in the merit, the goodness of this practice, and may it heal us. And may that healing turn into a radiance that can touch people by simply being present. May this be an opportunity to celebrate the whole of you, the whole of me, exactly as we are. May we leave this space in peace. Namaste.